Hi guys, and welcome to the Player YouTube channel, where amongst other things we do boat reviews. And today we're out on a boat, and it isn't just any boat. We're here in Marbella to test drive the latest Say Carbon 45. Say Carbon build carbon boats, as their name suggests, and this one is the 45. It's one of the biggest boats they produce. It's got a 0 to 60 time of silly. That's the only way I can describe it, because in boat terms it doesn't always have exactly the same connotations as in cars. But I can tell you now, it's a top speed on the water of 47 knots. It's powered by a couple of Volvo Penta engines developing 860 horsepower. And we're on it today with our skipper for some sea trials. Let's see how it goes. Just had a demonstration of how the actual stability of this boat works. So it's got a special, the only way I can describe it is like a gyro that sits in the middle of the boat, and when it starts to rock, that gyro, if it's turned on here, will actually stabilise the boat. So we were just being demonstrated, if we rock the boat, when you switch the stabiliser on, it stops the rocking. So it means you don't get to feel seasick, which again is really nice when you're out for a day on the sea. You don't want to be feeling rough. What you do want to do is experience a bit of rough in the boat. So here we are, guys. I wasn't expecting this, but we've got an opportunity to meet the actual, well, what do you call yourself, Karl? The designer of the boat? The instigator of the boat? Are you?
I'm just a plastic engineer.
The plastic engineer behind the boat. And he's being very, very modest. Karl Wagner, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
You originally had a company in Austria, I presume, because you're from Austria, aren't you?
Yes.
And plastics manufacturing.
So we did carbon fiber composites for automotive, for motorcycles. At the very beginning for motorcycle.
Sure.
Then came to the automotive world, racing like Formula 1, Le Mans racing, German touring cars, all this high class stuff.
Yeah.
And from there we developed the company further into serious production of monocoques and the very structural things for the most expensive supercars.
Well, you quite famously produced the monocoque for the McLaren cars, didn't you?
Yeah, that was quite a nice deal.
I bet it was. It's a nice little deal. And you also produced a lot of the actual structures within the Formula 1 industry as well, didn't you?
Yes, we did. So most of the big teams produce them on their own, but the smaller teams you always have a chance. And by good luck, we had the chance to build the Toro Rosso monocoque in 2006, when Vettel had his first victory on that car. Mm-hmm. Of course, that was really a cool moment for us.
Well, I bet it was, yeah.
Very lucky.
Were you there?
Yes, of course.
Yes, of course I was there. Did you get to cuddle Sebastian and say, wow, yeah? I mean,
no, I was not that involved with the team, but
sure.
By accident I was there, and it was, of course, it was fantastic.
It must be a pretty cool moment to be a manufacturer of a part that has just won this guy a Grand Prix.
Yeah. Oh, so. We had some really good moments in the development of the company with cool people and cool projects and.
Yeah. Well, you've got quite a cool project at the moment. We've been watching that earlier because I was very fortunate to go out on the boat this morning and witness that. But we'll talk about the boat in a minute. What I would love to know is how a guy from, which part of Austria are you from?
Salzburg.
From Salzburg, ends up in Marbella, where we are today, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way.
It is.
It doesn't get much better, does it? I mean, you live here now, don't you?
No, I don't. I still live in Salzburg.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I'm traveling a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to be here.
Yeah.
But I live back in Salzburg, spending a lot of my time in Wangen in Allgäu, where we produce the boats. It's in southern Germany, close to Lake Constance.
Okay. So the boats are actually produced in Germany?
Yeah, and we are a real manufacturer. So most of the shipyards just buy their stuff and assemble it.
Yeah.
And we really manufacture, because this is my life, this is my DNA. I'm a carbon fiber guy, so I want to produce my carbon fiber parts on my own. So we start with a roll of carbon fiber, with resin and the mold, and you can see everything. So the customers can come and see how the boat is produced.
That's incredible that they're actually allowed in the factory to see you building the boats. And
of course.
Well,
there's not a big secret.
No, I'm sure there isn't.
It's about proper engineering, which I love a lot.
Yeah.
Proper production, manufacturing,
sure.
High quality. It's all about quality.
And at the end of the day, what turned you on about carbon fibre? That sounds a bit weird question, but
it's hard to say. I mean, I know this material since I was 12-year-old, playing around with radio-controlled glider planes. So that was the very beginning. Later I started racing motorcycles, and I built my own fairings for my motorcycles for my racing. But I had to learn that I'm not a good racer, but I was good in carbon fiber.
You weren't good at racing it, but you were better at building it.
Besides that, I've been to a plastic engineering school in Vienna.
Sure.
So that was helpful, and that was the start of my first
career.
Company, my career.
Well, that career has swung you from cars and motorcycles into boats. Let's talk about first of all, I want to talk about the smaller version of the say carbon boat range. It's the 29. Now this 29 feet long.
It's 29 feet.
That's why they get their names.
Yeah, exactly. That's as easy as that.
Yeah.
So it's a very lightweight boat.
Yeah.
So the hull itself is just 400 kilo.
Wow.
The boat with a combustion engine starts at 1,380 kilo, depending on what engine, goes maybe up to 1,500 kilo, but still extremely light, and you can feel it. It's so powerful, and you can go 50 knots and just turn in. It's fantastic.
Sorry, 50?
50, and
really?
just full turn without any problem. So it's like, for me, coming from the automotive world, it's normal that you can go fast and you turn. It's not that normal in the boat business.
No, it really isn't.
So it somehow feels like a real sports car.
Yeah.
It's a cool boat. Besides the combustion engines, we also have an electric version.
Okay.
As the boat is so light, it was a good, let's say, good base for putting a heavy engine, heavy battery.
Heavy battery.
So the engines are light, but the batteries are heavy. Still, we have a speed record, world speed record for the fastest electric boat between 8 and 10 meters. That was with like around about 50 knots.
Wow.
That was pretty fast.
Incredible. From an electric battery.
Yeah, from an electric battery.
This is almost like going back to when you were a kid with your remote control. Is it like the battery? And
almost.
It's
a slightly bigger battery.
Yeah, a bigger battery and a little bit bigger.
400 volts in this case.
400 volts?
400 volts, yeah.
But what about water and batteries? They don't normally mix very well, do they?
Yeah, it's inside the boat, so. No, it's all protected. It's all very safe, very protected. So whenever you open anything, it immediately shuts off. So you don't get any power out of the battery unless the whole system says everything is green.
Okay.
So that's very important. So whenever it sees, you can put water on it. It wouldn't matter.
Okay.
But whenever anything happens, it immediately shuts down.
Everything
completely,
shuts off.
completely. Yeah.
And I was about to say, this is more for lake use. If you've got a house on the lake,
in fact, it is.
Yeah.
So the range is still very limited. That's the downside of electric boats. But it's a nice drive.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. Acceleration is great.
Very quiet.
Yeah.
So you see all the wildlife. Maybe you don't scare everything. And
to be honest, it's not that quiet because you still hear the drive.
Oh, okay.
The drive and when you go fast, of course, you hear the hull. The carbon fiber hull is always a little bit louder than it would be in glass fiber.
I never knew that.
Yeah, because you have less absorption. So it's a stiffer material.
Yes.
Therefore, we can build the boats lighter.
Yes.
So we have our hull. The weight of the hull is like 1/3 of the weight of a standard hull.
Gotcha.
And
That's a hell of a weight reduction.
Yeah, it is. So the total weight of a boat is usually around about 50% of our competitors.
Yes.
So we start with a really lightweight hull. Everything is optimized.
And you feel that gives you an edge being half the weight of any other boat of that size?
It helps you with performance. So acceleration is a function of weight and power.
Sure.
So with half of the weight you have double acceleration at the beginning, then comes the resistance. You have a better handling, and of course, and this is getting more and more important, you reduce fuel consumption.
Yes.
If you go on a normal cruising speed, your fuel consumption will drop by 30-40%.
Wow.
So we're doing on the 42, we're doing 22 knots with 50 liters in total, not on one engine, on both engines. That's
incredible.
That's really low emission.
Yeah.
And people start looking at that.
And also, we should, let's talk about the 42 now, just because I think that's obviously the boat we're here viewing today. It's a twin 2 V8 Penta Volvo engines.
Yeah.
But the unique thing about this that I overheard everybody talking about was the fact that they are petrol engines, not diesel.
Yeah, they're petrol engines because they're lighter.
Right.
And we offset petrol usually has a slightly higher consumption than the diesel engines.
Yes.
But we offset that with the weight.
Okay.
So the engines are like 400 kilos each, which still is massive.
Yes.
But if
heavy.
you look at diesel engines, they are 600 to 800 kilo.
Wow.
So we save a lot of weight.
Yeah. And combined, I think you told me earlier, 860 brake horsepower.
860, yeah.
Which is, again, the acceleration. When I went out in it earlier, it really takes your breath away. It's
but you have been 12 people on the boat.
Yeah, imagine
so
just 3 of us.
It
really would go. Wow.
Yeah. You can feel the difference because the boat is so light. The boat is as this boat is, they are something like 4,200 kilograms.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot heavier than the 29.
Yes, it is, but it's a lot bigger.
Yes, it's 42 feet long, not 29, obviously.
And it's wider, it's higher, so it's...
Yeah.
But still, it's again, boats in this class are usually between 8 and 12 tons. So it's extremely lightweight.
And this is only 4 tons?
4.2.
Yeah, thereabouts. You're such an engineer.
Sorry.
No, it's absolutely fine. For us, it'd be like, there's 4 tons. No, it's 4.2 tons. No, rightly said as well. But it's a fantastic product. And where do you have a market for this? That you think people are really going to love this this lightweight product that you're building?
Yeah, we're still learning about this, to be honest. We are a young company. But what we see is, of course, the Mediterranean Sea.
Sure.
So this is like Ibiza,
yeah.
Mallorca, of course, Marbella. We will go to Dubai. We will go to Miami. This should be a really big market.
Yeah, I think so.
The classical markets for the day boats.
And any are you thinking of any hybrids, for example, hybrid engine types, or?
This is a really good topic for the next boat.
For the next boat, okay.
For the next boat.
I'm looking forward to that one. If it's any half as good as this one that you've shown me today, it's going to be amazing.
It should be even better. It should be better. It will be big. It will be a 52.
Okay, yeah.
We already launched some basic photos or renderings of that boat. It will be extremely lightweight, and it will be hybrid. So you have 2 power sources, which means you have a combustion engine for the normal conditions when you go out, when you go like 100 miles or how far you want to go. But you also have electric power, and this electric power helps you with acceleration, of course.
Like a car.
That's quite a lot.
Car.
Yeah, like a hybrid car. You can. It helps with acceleration. It helps with top speed.
Yeah.
And you can go electric. You can go in the harbor. You can go in protected areas where you're not allowed to go with a combustion engine. So it just opens the range, and as you have this extra power, the combustion engines can be really small. And then again, the weight will be extremely
comes down
low.
even more, yeah. Well,
so that's the kind of engineering I really love.
Yeah, that's the one you can really play with.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I know you're a guy who loves playing with bits like that. Big boys' toys.
Yeah.
Just final question before we wrap this up, guys, and he's not expecting this at all. This year's Formula One, who do you think has a good chance of winning, in your opinion? I know you're a big follower of Formula One.
Yeah. At the moment, it really looks like Ferrari
It does, doesn't it?
has done something better than the others.
Yeah.
I mean, I still have a good feeling with McLaren because,
of course, yeah.
because we had so much business and so fantastic times.
Yeah.
So I still love the team, but I think this year.
So your heart
Ferrari
says McLaren, your brain says probably going to be Ferrari. There you go.
And as I am from Salzburg, Red Bull also.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit to do with
it's
Salzburg.
a big favorite.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Karl Wagner, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for hosting us here in Marbella, for showing us the 42 and the 29, which I saw in the marina. It's been a fabulous experience, and I wish you the best of luck with the future, and can't wait for my invite to come and see the 52.
Wonderful, thank you.
Cheers, great to meet you. There you have it, guys, Karl Wagner. So there you have it, guys. That was the Say Carbon 42. What a boat. Not the Say Carbon 45, which is what I called it early on. And we know size matters, especially weight when it comes to Karl Wagner, because he put me right on that as well. So I made sure I got that one right. You've been watching me, AJ, on the Player YouTube channel. I hope you've enjoyed what you've just watched. I have definitely enjoyed my time here in Marbella. It's been fantastic. And once again, my thanks to the Say Carbon team here in Marbella. We've been staying at the wonderful Puente Romano Hotel, and they've looked after us no end. It's been amazing. If you've got any comments about what you've just seen, then please do leave them in the comment box down below, and one of the team will get back to you in due course. If you want to subscribe at the end of the day, just subscribe and tick the box that unticks that little bell sign, because you need to get regular updates on all the videos that we're doing, because they're all equally as exciting as what you've seen today. There you go. Simple as. If you want to subscribe to The Player, now The Player is a 220-page bookazine just for men. There's an online version at www.theplayer.co.uk. Head over there, simply register. You can download that completely free of charge, and that covers everything that we've been showing you today, including cars, motorcycles, interviews, everything. It's well worth it. It's a men's lifestyle production, and it's all yours for free. Thanks for watching, guys. I will catch you next week with something different, hopefully equally as good as what you've just seen.